Thank you for coming to Church of the Spirit Sunday morning service. We're so happy that you chose to spend your Sunday morning with us. Thank you, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Debra Parisian. I am a member of the board here, and I've been coming to Church of the Spirit since 1997, so that's why I say I don't feel like a guest. But currently, all three of our pastors are at the NSAC annual convention. That's the National Association of Churches, of which we are members. While they are there, they'll be taking their final two tests, and should they pass, they are then eligible to become ordained ministers, and they will gain the title Reverend. They've actually already passed several tests that gave them the licentiate, made them licentiate pastors. But once they become reverends, they have additional abilities like being able to perform wedding ceremonies. So if any of you are thinking of getting married, you know where to come. So in their absence, you get me. I'm not a pastor. I have never delivered a message, so go easy on me. Okay, so I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that it is a splendid October day. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and it's pretty balmy outside. I hope that the weather is good for all you folks out there in Zoom land, but if it isn't, let me share this. Something my mother always said, every day above ground is a great day. So, what's the bad news? Well, there is no bad news. I tricked you. Everything is in divine order. Everything is in divine order. I hear some of your thoughts loud and clear. Debra, how can you say everything is in divine order? The country is divided. Our government is in turmoil. The planet is falling apart. Countries are at war. Well, here's what I mean. Divine order doesn't mean easy order. It means that there is divinity in the order of everything. It means there is something valuable to be gained from our experience, be it an easy experience or a difficult one. The other day, I heard someone on a podcast say something I've always believed to be true. But the way they said it stuck with me for several days. They said, an easy life does not a strong person make. And that is true. It's not until you experience turmoil that you realize how strong you really are. You know, some people believe in soul contracts. That is the idea that prior to coming into this life, we chose a specific pathway, a specific experience that would teach us something new, something we never experienced before. So if you believe in soul contracts, then you might believe that we all signed up for this. We all came into this life to experience the highs and the lows, the happy, the sad, the difficult, the easy. We chose to come to this place at this time to experience contrast. And boy, do we have contrast right now. Spoiler alert, the more challenging the lesson, the more challenging the experience, the bigger the lesson. But Debra, why? Why do we need contrast? Why can't we just come into this life and have a joyful, wonderful life? Kind of like a vacation. In the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, one of my favorite movies, George Bailey didn't know how wonderful his life was until Clarence the angel gave him the opportunity to see what the world would be like had he never been born. And through the process, George discovers that although life is sometimes hard, good always came from the hardships. We didn't come into this world with an instruction manual. We have to find our way one experience at a time. We've all heard the expression, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince or princess. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Raise your hand if you feel like you had to kiss a lot of frogs. A few people raised their hands. Some of you might have gotten tired of kissing the frogs and maybe you kissed a couple lizards. That wasn't very pleasant either. In all seriousness, how can we know what is important to us in a relationship unless we've experienced relationships that didn't quite work out for us? Some of us get lucky and we find our soulmate without having to kiss all the frogs, but that's not the norm. Everyone is different. One person's frog is another person's prince or princess. Or some of us might say, we don't need a partner, and that's all good. The list of lessons that we need to learn go on and on and on. Like, how can we have compassion for someone who is suffering unless we ourselves have suffered? How can we love others until we have first learned to love ourselves? How can we learn to give unless we ourselves have been recipients of a gift just when we needed it most, even though we felt undeserving? The good news is we have free will. You've heard that before in this church. We can choose to learn our lessons the easy way, or we can learn the hard way. We can get down in the gutter and wallow in the anxiety, feel the fear, be a part of the chaos. And then we can talk about the anxiety and the fear and the chaos with the others that are down in the gutter with us. And when we're done, we can talk about it again and again and again and again. Or we can step back and learn through observation. The current state of affairs is not of our making and is beyond our control. Let me be clear though. Learning through observation doesn't mean we do nothing. No, we can be a part of the solution to the problems that are the byproduct of the contrast without fully engaging in the contrast itself. To throw out another common phrase, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Contrast gives us the opportunity to build something better. This is where ideas come from. Ideas we might never have had we not experienced contrast. To deviate a little bit from spiritualism, I like to follow astrology. Spiritualists are not necessarily astrologers, but from an astrological perspective, we are in an energy that we have not been in for 250 years. It is the energy of dismantling that which has taken decades, centuries to build. The last time we were in this energy was 1775, 1776. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
No one who is alive has experienced this energy. Tearing down the status quo is painful. It's scary. But we as spiritualists can ask, what are the lessons to be learned? We can focus on making lemonade, preparing to rebuild something bigger, something better. To recap, it is when we release that which is not ours that we make space for what is ours. I'll say that again. It is when we release that which is not ours do we make space for what is ours. And in that space, we can step back and think, what is the lesson? There is the divinity. There is how we raise our vibration. And in that higher vibration, we experience synchronicities that temper our experience. There is how we manifest grander ideas that benefit the collective, that stands for the greater good. The choice is always ours. We can participate in the chaos, or we can observe it, learn from it, use it to grow stronger and wiser. What will you choose? So the next time you feel angry or fearful or frustrated, stop. Choose your path. Choose the path you will take. Might not be my path, but repeat to yourself, everything is in divine order. Everything is in divine order. Bless you. Bless you.